journaling, don't watch this. Hey guys, I've been wanting to put up this video for ages. I'm not going to go on for like 10 to 15 minutes about it. I have a journal method that I discovered a few years ago that since then has greatly improved my life. Also greatly improved my journaling inspiration and commitment. So I found this guy on YouTube and he talks about how he kind of started off trying to do his normal everyday like daily log kind of thing where he just writes whatever is really on his mind, but he found that it really jumbled all of his thoughts up and he couldn't find specific things that he'd written about because it wasn't in particular sections or it wasn't organized at all. It was just all brain dumping. So what he decided was to create a system that works best for him, and he shared it with YouTube, and I happened to find him one day and he was incredible. So what he does is he sets up one of these huge sketchbooks. Sticker blasted mine because I just like it, and I'll probably do that on all of mine as well to like create a theme that I want to keep going. This is actually a completed journal, something like that, which I usually stick to. Like, I still actually write daily, but I also have this journal, which is like, I'll go into it. It's more of very section journaling, and that's what I want to teach you guys today. If you're interested in some kind of journaling technique that is more structured and organized rather than a brain dump. Has this big book. It's one of those sketchbooks that is completely empty. So start with obviously a new journal. He has the first open first page as kind of the best things that he's learned. This is like a year worth of journal. Sometimes I can write up to like 5 or 6 of these in a year, but generally you want to use this one as like your workbook for the year, and then you can have all of your stuff in one place, and because it's bigger it's easier to put more in. It's the first page as like his biggest quotes, inspirations, just the things that, not really daily things, but more things that really stood out to him, that when you come back and read them, even if it's a small paragraph or something, that uplifts you and makes you feel stronger or more powerful or empowered or something like that, where you don't need all these huge inspirational quotes to get you through the day. Just have like one book, and when you've written it yourself, it's more personal, and you actually have it like you've written it yourself with your own handwriting. It's more powerful. Broken his book up into about 6 or 7 sections, and I copied his sections because they were pretty relevant to me. You can do your own sections, like you can have a section for gratitude, art section, so drawing. I got really into my art section. I'm not very artistic, but I like drawing like cubes and geometry kind of things, and I just did random sketches, stuff like that I would just be feeling, and that was only in one section of my journal. The first section that he talked about was something that I never really knew how to articulate or knew it existed until he put it into words. And what he does is he reads like self-help books and kind of, you know, those uplifting inspirational books where you get like the one-liners that really like inspire you, or you get you know, like a little section where you can write out your dreams, or any kind of book that is non-fiction that will uplift you and that you want to annotate in. He grabs them, he reads it again, he highlights them, and actually this is probably the best book that I have like highlighted and annotated in, and I've gone insane with this one. This one was really fun to read, and so many life notes and annotations in this one. If you want to read that, The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Milan Kundera. That's a quick recommendation. That's one of my favorite books in the world. this is what my book sections end up looking like. To you, that might be too much. It might be way too many little annotations or whatever, but that's fine. But to me, this is the most pornographic thing I could see. Like, this is an organized mess, if that makes sense. It is very unorganized, but it is also organized to a T. It's very particular. I like details. I like things to be in compartments and sections, especially my mind. And this method of journaling really helps me to do that, because I've got so much going on in here, and when I put it out here, it helps, but you also need to be able to visualize it in an organized way as well. Everything in this journal is like basically tailored specifically to me. I've customized it. As your sections fill up and you kind of flip back and forth in between, maybe one day you'll do some book notes where you'll write down a few pages of what you've studied. Maybe in the afternoon of that day you'll do a brain dump, which is another section that I have kind of created, which is like expressing your mental clutter. So I've written here, express it, don't repress it. And I've just got diagrams, I've got sketches. It's less of like an art space where it's drawings and sketches. It's less creative and more of a dump of words or feelings or something like that. Another section is actually online notes, and this is more like things that you learn online. If you're doing maybe if you've read an article and you've doing some studies on that kind of thing, you can write down everything that you learn in this section, the online notes and kind of research section. I found that very helpful because you don't realize the amount of things that you learn online. Even when you're scrolling through Facebook, you could learn 5 to 10 things in half an hour, but you don't realize and you're not aware of it. But if you actually, the more that you become aware of what you're learning, the more you will actually learn and you'll retain it. But a lot of the time we're learning, but we're completely unaware of it, and it just goes over our head, and we're, instead of kind of thinking about that in more depth, we just skip to our minds are so erratic, and this generation, we're trained to just become bored within 5 minutes. So this book actually it did take me a year to fill up, like a page at a time. These are big pages and they're big sections, and when you actually start writing, like right up the top of a page, you realize it's going to take a lot to fill in 2 pages flat like that, and then times that by whatever size book you get. This did take me 12 months to finish, but I can tell you that even though I have filled in about 30 to 40 in the last couple of years of these smaller journals where I just write, the content in here isn't as amazing and thought out and processed as this. That's why if I had to choose between grabbing a journal, I wouldn't choose, they're like my babies, but if I had to choose, I would definitely choose my black one, this one, over my daily journal, because I feel like it just has much more content and helpful content. I love carrying around a good old-fashioned pen and a good old-fashioned book, and anything that happens after that is all from me. No one has ever written the words that I've written. No one's ever been creative like me. You got to think in that way. Stop generalizing the idea of journaling and start putting your own thing on it. I'll leave you with one thing. You know what your favorite meal is, right? Like, say your favorite meal is pasta, and someone can come over and you could literally stand over them and you could tell them exactly how you like it to be made, exactly the amount of salt and pepper that you want, all of those things. You could even tell them the exact ingredients that you want, so you know it's going to taste good. But you know that at the end of that, when they give you the bowl, even if you've completely watched them, that it still won't be just how you like it, because ultimately, like, we're the only ones that know ourselves the best. So you can tell your friend, hey, like, I like spaghetti bolognese, I like this, but when you eat it, it's never going to taste just like how you cook it. So why not make a journal or a book that is tailored completely to your specific, use my thing as like a skeleton or an outline of how you would like to set up your journal. But I'm just saying that the section part for me really helped, because it helped me to be able to come back to it more often. I can go to any section that I want and work on it, and then one day all of my pages are going to connect up and I'll have a full journal with everything that I love in one place. I'm working on my second one right now. Got trusty book notes that I love, probably my favorite section. That's what got me to kind of be encouraged to do this journaling method. Okay guys, I hope I didn't talk your ear off. Kind of a journaler at the moment. You don't really know like how to take it to the next level or how to maximize your journaling ability. As nerdy as that sounds, I believe, honestly, and I know a lot of other people do, that journaling is honestly one of the best and only tools that helps you with your life and that helps you to grow as a person and as a human being. To have more consciousness as a human being is so important, because we're living in this such a distracting world. So keep those points in mind, and also let me know if you guys want me to go into more detail about these sections, or if you'd like me to put up another video. I don't even know if anyone's going to really watch this lengthy video, but I believe that it's fully worth it. Thanks guys, and message me if you need any help or anything like that. Bye.